What's up, guys? Triple C here. So, like you read in the title, this error message, probably everybody's seen it since the last DLC. Rockstar broke thousands of jobs because they're trying to go against money glitch jobs, and effectively they've blocked a couple of money glitch jobs, but they've also sabotaged and broken thousands of legit creations. Now, I'll first show you with captures and death matches because I'll be quicker through showing you that, and then I'll skip over to races in a second. Now, what happens, I told that in my previous video, that there are blacklisted zones now. If you have triggers or props in those blacklisted zones, basically you're fucked, your race or your job is not playable anymore. You will get that error message. The job contains invalid data and needs to be remade. By the way, Rockstar, your DLC contains invalid data and should also be remade on that note. So basically an easy thing to spot this. Like, since yesterday I've been doing damage control and I've been trying to fix jobs that are affected by this. I'm up to 17 jobs now, which I wouldn't even call it fix, because those jobs which I went on working since yesterday, the only thing they have is a trigger in one of those zones. Not even any prop, nothing, It's just a trigger in the Winter Garage or in the comedy club, and that messed up all my jobs. So basically, if you look on the right side here, where it shows a preview of the job, you'll see that here in the Wingsuit Coaster Volume 2, area, it says San Andreas. That's an area where the game has not attributed like an area of the map to. That's where I still had the trigger in the Winter Garage. Now the Wingsuit Coaster Volume 2, that's where I saved it or rescued the job and moved the trigger and did all that stuff, which I'm going to show you in a second. So basically, if you just go through your jobs, you can basically easily see which jobs are affected by this. Just scroll through them, look at the area, and anywhere where it says San Andreas, that job is probably fucked. I'll go into this one and show you guys with this one here. Area says San Andreas, so I'm going into this one. And now it'll start loading, and I get this message here. The job contains invalid data and needs to be remade. And by the way, I think this might also be the reason why a lot of jobs are affected which don't have a trigger under the map. I mean, there's so many races and jobs that don't have anything under the map that are affected by this. And what I just suspect is that, for example, Upfader has one at the airport, and Hito told me he's got one where the trigger's at the beach, and they're also affected. So maybe Rockstar didn't, like, when they decided which area is where, maybe some areas on the map are not assigned to a specific area and fall into that San Andreas category, which the game has now blacklisted. So if maybe the edge of the airport is not classified by Rockstar as LS International Airport, it might just be that the game classifies it as San Andreas generally and just immediately flags it as a money glitch job, which it's not, obviously. And then you fall into this category. So yeah, if your job is affected and it's only concerning the trigger, and it's basically an easy fix, you will lose all your plays. You will also lose the pick of your job, which for me is devastating, for example, because sometimes I spend hours on a pick, So what you have to do, look, I'm in the capture now. I go to capture details, and all these blacklisted jobs, the player count has now increased. So this job is a 31 player job. With death matches, they've turned into 32 player jobs, and races have also turned into 32 player jobs. LTSs, I forgot, I fixed 2 of my LTSs, but it's also 31 or 32. So first thing when you go into this job, which is basically broken, you go into the general settings in the details of the job, and you first turn down the player count to 30 again. Now that's possible in LTSs, death matches, and captures. In races, it's a slightly different method. I'll show it to you in a second. So basically, you just go on number of players turned back to 30. Now you have to move the trigger. So I just place the trigger here. Obviously, you have to do the lobby camera again. And then you have to take a new pick. Even though you see the old pick here, if I go on photo, it's not showing right now, but on most of my other jobs it did show. Even if you will see the picture in the top right corner, you have to take a new pick, otherwise the pick will not transfer. So just take a new pick of your job, and then basically you can update it. So captures, death matches, and LTSs are basically easily savable like this, or it's possible to rescue them. But like I said, your pick will be gone. You'll have to take a new pick, and also all your plays, all your community plays, likes and dislikes will also be gone. Because if I click on update version now, I'm not updating the original job, but it will publish as a new job basically, and the old broken one will still be there. Your old broken one will have all the plays and everything, but apparently it's not possible to rescue the old job. So yeah, that's how you would go about it with the capture. I won't click update version now because I already did it with this one. So let's go over to a race and I'll show you what happens there, how you can basically rescue your race. Alright, so we're going on published jobs right now. I already did rescue 2 of my races which were affected, and I'll show you guys how I did it, because this is also can be quite a headache. It's a bit more complicated with the races. So as you see here, Gargonite Offspring. Only crime I committed also was that it did have a trigger in the comedy club. This was the original one up here. As you see again, area, it says San Andreas. Big no-no now, not allowed. So that job will generate that error message. So we're going into this one, into the broken one. And we'll just get the message again. The job contains invalid data, needs to be remade. Now the thing with these is that they've also turned into 32 player jobs, those races. So if we go into race details, and now here we can't just turn it down like we did on the capture before, because, don't ask me why, probably because the starting grid is still there with the, or it doesn't matter why. Anyways, it's not possible, so, and this is quite iffy because I'm not even sure if I know 100% what I did there, but if you just remove the trigger and do all those steps, I'll quickly show you what happens. Lobby camera, anytime you touch a checkpoint, the job will reload. So if we pick this up here, the job is reloading and it says it contains invalid data and needs to be remade. So we're gonna go on placement and delete all the checkpoints here, but it's still gonna happen. So we're deleting all the checkpoints now to place a new one basically. Now we're gonna place a trigger and a lobby camera. And now if we go, now if we turn down the players to 30, or just 2 players, doesn't matter, or 4 players, and we want to place a checkpoint again, it's going to happen again. So we go on checkpoints, and the job is reloading again. So I was just messing around with it with all the settings, and I think I got maybe 2 or 3 of the steps I'm doing you might be able to omit, but basically if you're going to do this, what I'm going to show you now, then you're going to be able to set a new starting grid. So first go on, first delete all your checkpoints again. Delete all checkpoints. Okay, they're gone. Now we're going to place a new trigger somewhere. So we're placing the trigger here. We're going to place a new lobby camera. Now this, for example, I don't like, obviously turn it away from 32 players. You do not want to have 32 players. So we're just going to take it on 6 now. Photo, I'm not sure if you have to do this, but you'll have to do it anyways later. So, and now scroll down here. As you see, wait, where is it? Down here, allow vehicle speed boosts. It's all messed up here, as you see. On the right side, it shows my tags, which I defined. If I scroll up here you see those are my search tags, you know? And they've kind of, like, something got messed up in their database, as always when they add stuff to the creator. And this now shows down here. So we're clicking on that once, and we're going on allow vehicle speed boost yes and no once. And this is, for example, probably also the reason why all the speed boosts have been messed up, because they made changes to the database and the attributes and stuff with the boosts. So we did that, and now I'm going down, also turning catch up on. I don't know if you have to do that with catch up, but I'm still doing it. And now what will happen, we'll still reload the job if you touch the starting grid now. Now the last step I did, I put the starting grid to large starting grid, because before we had a medium one. I'm going on available vehicles, clicking the sports and supers off, and going on bicycles. And now also placing a bicycle starting grid with a medium grid, it also still reset the job every time for me. And this is basically the only thing I got it to work. First on bicycles, with a large starting grid and all the steps I did before, and now we should be able to place a starting grid. So now we go on checkpoints, yeah, and now the job will not reload. So now if you just place your large bicycle starting grid, now you're good to go. Now you can start saving your job. And of course now you can also change those settings again, you know. Now just turn it back to a medium starting grid. Oh wait, available vehicles will quickly go on, wait, where's it, supers. Turn the bicycles off. And now it'll load in the supers. And we should be able to change it back to medium now also. So now I'm picking it up. Yeah, now we turn to medium. Obviously, glitching the small one in will involve publishing it 2 times in a row, but we're not going that deep right now. So yeah, now you can basically start trying to rescue your job. You will have to redo all the checkpoints. And like I said, if your only issue was that the trigger was somewhere in a zone which they don't allow anymore, like I said, which doesn't even need to involve being under the map. It's just enough if you're somewhere at the beach or the airport where the game has not defined an area like Pillbox Hill or Legion Square or whatever, you know. If it's just an undefined area also over the map, you're fucked. You're classified as a money glitch job and your job will be broken. So now you can basically just go about and rebuild your job, your race from here, and then republish it. And like I said before, we'll publish as a new job, and you will have lost all your plays and your pick and all. So yeah, now if you have props under the map, you're basically totally fucked. I'll show you guys with a different race here, because what they do now, I also said that in my last video, they kick up all your props. They're now not under the map anymore, but they're gonna be in the sky now. So wait, let's go on previous page. Where is it? Illuminati confirmed. That one, for example, contains invalid data, needs to be remade. But it's just not possible. Like this one, I can't save it. If anybody's got this one bookmarked, they'll also get that message that the job contains invalid data, needs to be remade. Because I got these props under the map here where you go through the winner's garage and get this blue screen and everything. And let me show you all those props which used to be under the map. They're now up in the sky. Like these are all up in the sky now already. After I do a test, like this was originally under the map. Now let's quickly do a test. And now even more props. Now like every prop will be kicked up in the sky. So we'll exit the test. As you see now everything. This was basically all the invisible zone previously. And then you went around here, you went in the 10-car garage and glitched over the map again. So if you have jobs under the map in those blacklisted zones, there are some under the map jobs, like some zones, for example, where I'm not going to go into detail now in case somebody with bad intentions or money glitchers are watching this, you know. Creators will know like other spots to glitch under the map. There are certain zones where they are still allowed, but basically everything here in the Legion Square area, underwater zones like Mirror Park, for example, it's all blacklisted now, and the canals down there behind the police station, somewhere here is also blacklisted stuff, you know. So yeah, go figure, like all those jobs have been broken by Rockstar. They're not playable anymore. You can't save them basically. So yeah, but if you just had issues with, like I said before, if you just have a harmless race, I mean, this would also be a harmless race, you know, nobody gets hurt. Like I said also in the previous video, it's not about who coincidentally likes under the map jobs or not. Bottom line is nobody gets hurt, you know. It's like they're not abused for anything. It's just like a different part of the game, whatever. So yeah, if you have one of these, basically you're fucked. You're not going to be able to save it as of now. If it's just the trigger or other stuff, use the methods that I just showed you. And yeah, hope I could help out, and I'll check you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.